Hey, what's happening everyone? It's me, it's Consciensula. I hope you're having a good day and welcome to today's Pokemon Go video. Alright, so the Rock-type legendary Pokemon Regirock is returning to 5-star raids.
Miss, I'm so sorry. What does it feel like to be
Regirock?
And taking down this boss is extremely easy, you just need to know what the right counters are. The thing is with Regirock, it is once considered the absolute best rock type in the game, but that has been a short-lived title. Considering that we've had Pokemon like Tyranitar and Terrakion, I really feel like Regirock often gets overlooked. But this Pokemon is still formidable when it comes to raid DPS, and it's also a really good Pokemon for the Ultra League and Master League. If you head on over to pvpoke.com, you will see that Regirock is ranked number 23 overall in the Ultra League. This is a Pokemon that has a lot of value within this league. There's very few Pokemon that counter it, and overall, it can take down a lot of the top meta picks. It's also a really good Pokemon to use to round out your teams if you're having some difficulty against certain Pokemon. It's a really good Pokemon to use, and it's definitely worth giving a try if you can get yourself PvP IVs. So this is a Pokemon still worth raiding for, especially if you want 100% IVs. And another thing to keep in mind is that Regirock does have its shiny form in the game, and that is a highly sought after shiny because the Regis do not often make a return to raid battles. It's usually just once a year, and Regirock is one of those that a lot of players look for when it comes to shinies. Now, taking down Regirock is actually pretty straightforward. If you know the counters to rock types, then all you need to do is bring the absolute best of the best of those counters. I'll be going over what the top DPS counters are later on in this video, but first let's talk about the details for this raid. Regirock is a pure rock type, which means it's going to have a weakness against grass, fighting, ground, steel, and water type attacks, but it's also going to be resistant against fire, flying, normal, and poison type attacks. So avoid bringing any Pokemon with those moves because they're going to deal very little damage against this raid boss. Now, if you want perfect IVs for Regirock, you will want to encounter one that is 1784, and if it is weather boosted, it's going to be 2230. Regirock is going to be weather boosted by just one weather type, and that is of course partly cloudy. Taking down Regirock doesn't require a lot of trainers. If you want to secure the win, bring at least 5 trainers in total in the raid group and have everyone be at least level 30 with all of their Pokemon being close to level 30. And if you want to challenge yourself, you can potentially duo Regirock, but you and another trainer need to be at least level 40 and have the best Pokemon. Speaking of which, let's go over all of the best counters for Regirock. It's pretty straightforward. You will want to bring your absolute best ground type, grass type, fighting type, steel type, or water types in your collection. But in terms of raw DPS, the absolute best is going to be Primal Groudon, and then followed by Primal Kyogre. And then Shadow Groudon and Shadow Metagross are also going to be really good, and Shadow Kyogre can handle its own as well. And if you do not have any of these Pokemon, then consider bringing Terrian Form Landorus. Now, if you do not have a good collection of Pokemon and you lack a lot of the legendaries and shadow Pokemon, then consider bringing a Mega Swampert as well as regular Metagross and regular Mamoswine with ground type attacks. Those are all going to do really well against Regirock, but do keep in mind that Mamoswine is an ice type and certain attacks that Regirock has is going to be really strong against it. So yeah, there you have it. Regirock is very easy as long as you have these counters. And I have to tell you, this Pokemon is one that I kind of wish had a much better moveset, mainly because it is meant to be a very powerful rock type. However, it does get outshadowed by a lot of other rock types that are currently in the game, but you should still not discount Regirock because this Pokemon is incredibly strong, and it's also a great way for you to style on your opponents in PvP. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding Regirock down below. Is this a Pokemon that you plan to raid for, or are you planning to skip this out entirely and saving your raid passes for Pokemon Go Fest? Let me know those thoughts down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And also don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Now I want to give a quick shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Count Jinsula channel, the easiest and the best way to do so is by clicking on the links in the description below. One of them will take you to my Patreon page, and if you become a paid Patreon member, you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon Go friends list. So when it comes to remote raids or the friendship system, if you want to interact with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a different way, that doesn't involve spending money, you could do so by following me on social media. My handle is @CountJinsula, and I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch y'all later.